Hi, Tim. Good morning. Hello. Guys, am I audible? Please respond in short. Yeah, very good morning to all. Before I'm going to start about what exactly that Angular, let me introduce myself. My name is Srikanth, having 10 years of IT experience, and currently I'm working professional, working here as a part-time trainer. I'm completely having an experience into both server side and client side technologies. I'm a full stack developer, where my designation is technical lead. I do have an experience with major Microsoft technologies and plus Angular, React, Vue.js, and JavaScript and jQuery when it comes to the client side. This is all about me, and my name is Srikanth. Now, coming back to the subject, right. So we are all wants to learn about the Angular here, and fine. Tell me one thing: what exactly a meaning of an Angular? What you guys know about an Angular? What exactly an Angular is? Just guess it. What exactly an Angular is? Very good. Okay. Next, use the chat window. JavaScript styles, front-end technology, framework of JS. Nice. Right. Angular is a framework which is used to build the front-end application. Very good. Okay. Okay. Seems like most of the people they're explaining good. But before that, before I'm going to give exactly what Angular is going to be, I'll give a quick overview of web applications. I'll give a quick overview of web application. What is meant by a web application? An application which runs with the help of internet. An application which runs with the help of an internet, that is generally a web application. And also it is a collection of web pages, right? Tell me. An application which runs with the help of an internet and where it is a collection of web pages together. Now, practically, once you start that application development and you have written like lot of code either by using the Java, .NET, whatever it might be, end of the day, we supposed to host that application into some server. Because without having a web server, web applications cannot be run. I hope you people might know about it, right? Suppose, let's say, that means if you can take, let's say, an application, maybe let's say this is an application, and you did the development and development part is done and it's successfully working fine. And the QAs, they tested well, testers, and they are giving the sign off for your application and that is working fine. Then what you will do, the total application, you must have to install or host in some application, and that application is nothing but a web server. I can say that. Understand? So we have different web servers are available. Apache, Tomcat, IAS is available. Like that, we have different web servers are available. Now, what is meant by a web server, generally speaking? A web server which serves the web pages. That means when the request comes to that particular server will take that particular request and verify the request and execute the logic in the code and then give the response. That is how it works. Now, simple term, I can say web server is a software. Leave anything. It's simple terms like, it's a software, I can say. Now, this software is going to be installed in where? Some computer only, right? Computer, or else I can say simply operating system. Am I right? Tell me. That means we have that application. Application needs to be hosted on web server. What is web server? Web server is a software. And every software, it has to run it in a mission. And that mission, what we call it as a computer, or else like, let's say, operating system. And this is what we call it as a server, generally speaking. Understand? This is what we call it as a server. But tell me one thing, suppose you guys are having like, the Facebook account. You people are having, let's say, Google accounts, I mean, Gmail accounts. Tell me one thing, every time are you going to the server in order to do a processing? Suppose you just wanted to open the Facebook login page, then what you people will do? What we will be doing? Tell me. We will send the request with the help of what? With the help of what? I wanted to open like facebook.com. What is the procedure? Immediately first I'll open the browser, and from the browser I'll give something like facebook.com. The time when I'm giving the facebook.com, the request will go to the nearest server and process the request, and based upon that it will give you a web page to you. That is where I told you a web server which serves the web pages, simply, which serves the web pages, simple terms. So that means we have the client. Client is nothing but what? Client is nothing but a browser. We have like, different clients are available. This is one client and this is another client. Like that, we have like, the third client is available. Fourth client is available. So multiple clients. Let's say this is client 1. And at the same time, this is going to be client 2. And here it is going to be client 3. And here it is going to be client 4, that what I can say. So we have like, 4 clients are available, and each client is going to be a browser. Understand? Each client is going to be what? It's a browser, I can say. So I'm sending the request to the application. And here, this is what I can say, that these are the browsers. A client is nothing but browser. This is one browser. This is another browser. Because Facebook is not like an application where only one person can use at a time. I'm able to open the Facebook from my browser. At the same time, some other people also, they are able to send the request, right? Now, what a web server will do, web server will take this particular request and connected with that application. And this application, if it require any kind of database interaction, that DB connection, if it require like any kind of database interaction, it will connect with that particular database and fetch the data and perform all that operation. Again, what it will do, it will give the response, right? So here, this is what we call it as a request. Understood? This is what we call it as a request. And once if the request is going to be successfully processed, or whatever it might be, success or failure, it doesn't matter. Server will give what? Something to the browser. That is what we call it as response. That is what we call it as a response. That means we have the request, and the request is taken by the web server. web server will process the request. And if it wants to, I mean, the code is required to connect with the database means it will go and connect with the DB, and immediately what happen, it will give the response. It will give what? A response to the browser. So that means whatever the part or whatever the importance we have for the application which is available on the web server, the same importance is required even at the browser level as well, right? Because whatever the application you people have written, you written like, let's say 1,000 line, 2,000 line, or 10,000 line code, it doesn't matter at all. End of the day, the end user will be sending the request or getting the response. Everything is going to be happen from the browser only, right? Yes or no? Facebook, like they have written a lot of developer, they have worked on that and they implemented like a lot of feature. But how we are able to use those features with the help of what? Browser. Simply, I can say with the help of browser only, we are able to use that particular features. That is the reason where when I say about like, web application development, how much importance is there for the server side technologies, the same importance is there for client side technologies as well. That means what is client side and what is server side. As I told you, when it comes to an application, I can say that it is a collection of web pages. To build a web application, we use what? Web technologies. We use what? Web technologies. And here we have two set of web technologies are available. One is going to be server side web technologies. Now, what is meant by server side web technologies? Or technologies which will be understandable by the web server. Understood? Or technologies which will be understandable by the web server. Those are what we call it as a server side technologies. Now, I hope you people might know, you are already learned something like JSP, or else let's say MVC, struts MVC. Maybe like if you're a .NET developer, we have ASP.NET and ASP.NET Core MVC or whatever. All these are the server side technologies which are able to communicating with the servers. But end user, it doesn't matter that like, on which web server you're running your application, understand, and how it is running, how it is processing. End user point of view, what is important? It's all about the client side technologies, client side web technologies. We have client side web technologies. And what is the purpose of client side? Client side web technologies. Client is nothing but what? Client is a browser. I can say that. I'm not discussing anything about, server. Leave about it because you people are already learning about like, Java and all. So that is where I'm not interrupting anything with respect to the server side technologies. Now coming to the client side, understand client side web technology. Client is nothing but what? What is client means? Client is nothing but a browser. Don't think that client is a user. A client is nothing but a browser. Understand? And browser can understand few technologies. Those are understand. Browser can understand few technologies. Those are client side technologies. Those are client side technologies. And these technologies are nothing but what are the technologies browser can understand? Anyone? What are the technologies it can understand? Tell me. Anyone? What are the technologies? Very good. HTML. Nice. So that means it can understand what? HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Browser cannot understand like, Angular, React, whatever it might be, frankly speaking. Browser can understand what? Only HTML, CSS, JavaScript. These three only. Then you may get a question, Srikanth, then why should we go with like, jQuery, Angular, React, Vue.js, Node.js, Knockout.js? We have like these many. See, whenever like, if a new and updated technology is launched into the market, it simplify the code. Simple term, it improve the performance. And second thing is going to be simplify the code. We don't have like, with respect to the HTML, we don't have much changes. I mean, every version they are adding a couple of elements to the library and they are releasing in the market. And it was released by the W3C, World Wide Web Consortium. They released like, from one version to another version, couple of tags. Now coming to the CSS, CSS is mainly used for what purpose? Tell me. HTML is mainly used to represent the data. Simply, I can say it is used to represent the data. Simply, HTML is used to represent the data representation purpose. Now, at the same time, CSS is used for what? Very good. CSS is used for what? Styling purpose. Understand? That means styling. Whenever if you want to, because every HTML tag you can take, once you start the development and then if you can execute, it comes to the left side by default, because the browser will execute from left to right and top to bottom generally. So that like it comes completely on the left side, but I just wanted to give like, the styling, which means I wanted to display something in the middle. I want to add some background color. I just wanted to change the text color and I wanted to add some font property. Like that, if I want to do some kind of style, then what CSS will do? CSS is having list of property and we are going to use those properties so that like we are able to get a good designs. But over the period of time, writing the same properties again and again, we might feel like, it's a time waste process, obviously, right? Suppose, let's say today I developed an application where I have written some list of styles. Maybe tomorrow or like, let's say 1 week later or 2 weeks later, same kind of page I just wanted to get. I mean, if I'm getting a requirement, again, I have to rewrite the code. Whatever the classes I have defined at that time, I need to rewrite one more time for the next page as well. So all these things came into the picture. That is one of the reason where Twitter company, what they have done, they released a version that is what we call it as Bootstrap. Understood? Now, what a Bootstrap will contain? Internally, it contains CSS styles only. Styles in form of classes. That means Bootstrap will contain what? CSS styles only, and all those styles in the form of what? Classes. So suppose I wanted to create a button. For the button, I wanted to apply some border. And for the button, I just wanted to add like, give some importance. And for the button, I wanted to give some font property, display text property, background property. Like that, I just want to apply like, some XYZ properties. And I wanted to maintain same properties across my application. Then what I can do, I can create a class where it is required, I can apply it over there. That is how it is. Same thing, you can find it in the Bootstrap as well. Now, what a Bootstrap will contain? Nothing. Bootstrap is having what? A list of classes which are predefined. And whenever it is required, we can make use of those classes. That is how it is. And after that, we have like Sass is available. Understand? Less is available. Stylus is available. So all these are like, related to that only. But Bootstrap is the one which is like, very much popular when compared with the remaining. Bootstrap is like, very much popular nowadays. So that means instead of writing from the scratch with the help of CSS, what I can do, I'll be using the Bootstrap. And by using Bootstrap, I can make use of those styles which are defined. That means it's a predefined. So that developer job will be like, reduced. Definitely developer work will be reduced. Instead of recreating, rewriting the logic, we can just simply use those classes. But end of the day, if it is Bootstrap, SAS, less stylus, whatever, it has to be converted into what? CSS only. Otherwise, browser cannot understand. Clear na? That means browser can understand few technologies, and those technologies, what we call it as client-side web technologies. And what technologies it understands? HTML, CSS, and then third one is the JavaScript. HTML, okay, it is just used for representing the data, and CSS is used for what? A styling purpose. Provide the styles for what? HTML tags. Either you can move it to the left or you can move it to the right. Like that, if you want to do, there you can use it. Understand? And what is the next one is going to be JavaScript. Tell me, what is the need of JavaScript? What is the need of JavaScript? Tell me. What is the need of JavaScript? Tell me. Very good. Loops, statements, validation. Okay. Very good. Logical part. Responsive. Okay. Very good. Okay, in simple terms, I can say HTML just used for data representation. Suppose I have a collection, then I can display it in a table. Suppose let's say I have some list of course names that what I'm going to teach. I want to display it to the user where I can take an ordered list or unordered list. And at the time of displaying, I just wanted to give like, some styles. There I can use the CSS. But whatever like you people have seen, that is completely a static DOM. Understand? With the help of HTML and CSS, even though you people use Bootstrap, understand? With the help of HTML and CSS, we can build only static DOM applications or else pages. Now, what is mean by document? I mean, DOM. DOM stands for document object model. DOM stands for document object model. Now, what it is exactly? At the time of doing the development, we used a lot of HTML tags and we have written lot of CSS styles. Those are what we call it as HTML tags or HTML element, or else let's say style properties. That is how like, we are calling. But once if the application execution has started, then we are able to see that output on the browser, right? Yes or no? Now, when the output is rendered on the browser, each HTML tag or each HTML element internally, it creates what? Object, and those object collection, we call it as DOM, document object model. Did you understand? That means I'll show you a simple example to you guys. Maybe let's open. I'll go to my D drive or somewhere. I'll create a separate folder for you. Let's say the folder is going to be, it's an Angular, full stack Angular, maybe. I'll open this one, and from here I'll open my command prompt, and then I will tell you like all these things, don't worry. So now here I'll create a simple file and the file name is going to be index.html, that what I can use. And I'm going with the HTML5 version. And I just wanted to have, let's say, some table here. Now you see at the time of creating this application, I used doc type declaration. I used the HTML tag. I used the head tag. I used meta tag, and then title we are having body. And here I'm going to write something like H1. Welcome to, let's say, JavaScript world. JavaScript world I can say. And after that, I'll go with some HR tag. And at the same time, maybe I can take a unordered list or ordered list, and which contains a li. Around I wanted to create, let's say 4. And here I can say that something like HTML. And after that, here I'm having CSS. And I just wanted to have JavaScript. And I can have the jQuery or whatever, simply. So in this particular scenario, whatever you people have written, like H1, HR tag, UL tag, LI tag, all these are what? HTML tags. And if you wanted to apply like some properties, you can say style. Maybe I can say that text align is going to be center, I can say. Okay, text align is going to be center, that what I can give. Now here, these are CSS properties. Whatever you people are seeing here, those are elements and the style. But once if you can execute this one, there you can see we are able to get that output here, right? We are able to get an output here. And here, every element is converted into what? An object internally. Every element, whatever you people have seen here, is converted into an object, and all these objects, understand, all these objects are together, we call it as a DOM. All the objects are together, we call it as DOM. Now you can see this is an object, you can see that which comes with some padding, border. Understand, this is the HTML element. Outside we are having what? Padding, and then we have the border, and then we have the margin. All together, understand, all together we call it as DOM. Simply I can say. Understand? So, but by using HTML and CSS, we can build only static DOM pages. Static DOM, that's it. We don't have any kind of interactions. So that is the reason where we have the JavaScript. JavaScript is what purpose? To build, which is used to build dynamic DOM pages. Understand? Which is used to build what? Dynamic DOM. Now, what is meant by dynamic DOM? If it is a static DOM, I'll send a request, same response. That means suppose, let's say, a simple example in real time, if I'll be open facebook.com, what web page I am getting, I'm able to see like, the login page only, right? Yes or no? I'm able to see only a login page. If you people have sent a request, you are also getting the login page or not? Tell me. Everyone, like, if they're sending the request for the Facebook first time, definitely they will able to see what? A log the login page. This is what we call it as static DOM. Understand? This is what we call it as static DOM. But once if you can give a username and password and try to click on the login, then what will happen? The request is going to the server and process the request and verify your credentials, the username and password. If your username and password is already registered, then it will give you the home page. Is that home page is common for everyone or different? Tell me. That means at that time, the page is constructed based on your credentials, right? I'm able to see like, my home page where I'm having like all my images, my friends' images, or else like my posts and my videos, like whatever. I'm able to see like only those things generally. But the time when user has sent a request for the first time, everyone will get what? Login page only. And here, login page is something like it's a static DOM. That means a page which cannot change for every user's request. Understood? A page which cannot change for every user's request. That is what we call it as a static. Clear? I'll write down that point as well. Don't worry. Simply a page. I'll write a note. One more note. Okay, I'll write it here. Otherwise, a page which a page which can be same for every user's request. That is what we call it as that is a static page or static DOM. That's up to you. That is static. And second thing, a page which can be different for every user's request. For every user's request, that is what I can say that dynamic. That means dynamically it has to construct based on the credentials that you people have entered. Based on the credentials that you have entered, a page should be created dynamically. Understand? A page should be created dynamically. That is very important here. Now, how we can build that? That is the reason where JavaScript is used. What is the purpose of JavaScript? A JavaScript which can be used to build a dynamic DOM pages or dynamic web pages. Understand? Dynamic web pages. JavaScript is going to be. But writing the pure JavaScript or plain JavaScript, it's a hectic process. It is not that much easy to write like, the plain JavaScript. Understood? It is not that much easy. So to overcome that, what JavaScript, from the JavaScript, what we are going to do is they introduced another one, that is jQuery. One second. Guys, is my audio video lagging? Somebody? Is it clear for all? Hello? Maybe the people like who are getting like that, please rejoin. No issues. Okay. Cool then. Cool then. Cool. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. It sometime happened. Like we all are depend on the network, right? It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Cool. Right. So writing the pure JavaScript is like, it's a hectic process. It's very like, hectic process. We cannot able to complete it on time because JavaScript first thing is going to be, it is not like, a compiler based language. Once you write the code and then if you can execute, then only you will come to know that whether it is executing properly or not. Until unless like, it is very difficult for us to identify. So it's not like, based on the compiler. It's not completely based on the compiler. That is one thing. So JavaScript that is the one reason from the JavaScript they introduced the jQuery. Now what is jQuery? jQuery is a library. Simply I can say that it is a library. And by using the library which comes with some list of functions. It's a predefined functions they have created, and those functions we are going to use in our application. Okay, it is working fine. But all of a sudden, like, what happened, just give me a minute. Hello, office. So all of a sudden, what happened, jQuery is a library. And from that particular library, we have what? Functions. Simply, I can say that this is a collection of functions. And those functions are the predefined function. And once if that functions are going to be used and we are working fine, the application is working fine. But later onwards, there is a new kind of development is came into the picture. That is what we call it as a single page application. Single page application, I can say. Single page application. And it is not possible to build the single page applications by using jQuery. That is the reason what Google has done, they introduced Angular JS for us. They introduced Angular JS for us. And Angular JS also, they introduced like a library. They introduced like a library and it comes with some list of functions. And those functions are going to be used it in our application development and it is working fine. And later, what happened, this Angular JS, okay, still we have that Angular JS, that's a different story. From there, they introduced what? Angular. And the latest version is 15. That means Angular JS is different, Angular is different. Now, what is the basic difference in between these two is Angular JS is a library, Angular is a framework. Now, what is mean by a framework? It is a collection of libraries. Understand? A framework is nothing but collection of libraries, I can say. A framework is nothing but it is a collection of libraries. Angular JS is just a library. Maybe you can take React. React is just a library. But Angular you can take. Angular is a framework. It's not a library. Understand? Angular is not a library. It is a framework, which is a collection of libraries. That means we have lot of features which are available over there. We have lot of features are available. And that too, an open source one. That means the exact definition of an Angular is going to be an Angular is an open source front end. Understand? Front end development platform. An Angular is a open source front end development platform developed by, understand, developed by which company? Google, which can be developed by Google, that make it easy to build mobile application and desktop web applications. That's it. That means one time if you can learn about that Angular, you can build a mobile-based web application and a desktop-based web application. That's up to you. Shrikant, what is mobile-based web application? Amazon you can take. Do you know, like, you people have downloaded a couple of mobile applications from the Play Store or else let's say Mac Store, and those applications also some of the application, those are running with the help of what? A browser only internally. Do you know that? Amazon is the best example for that one. We feel that means end user may feel that is a mobile application, but internally what happened, that application also runs with the help of some browser only. Internally, that application also will runs with the help of browser only. That is how they made generally. So Angular is an open source. Open source means it's a freely available one. It's freely available one, and which is a front-end development platform. Front-end is nothing but which can be used to build a dynamic web pages on the browser level developed by the Google that make it easy to build the mobile and desktop based web applications, I can say. Understand? Now, what are the features we are having? Angular comes with lot of features. Understand? That means it is having templates, data binding. Understand? Templates, data binding is there. And at the same time, we have the forms are available, pipes are available, services are available. Understand? Maybe I can say that directives are available, dependency injection is there, DI, etc. All these are what I can say is going to be the Angular features. Okay, Angular feature. And by using these feature, we can build the application very effectively. We can build that application very effectively. That is how, like, Angular. And another interesting question, someone asked me, sir, is React is used mostly or Angular? What is easy? That's purely based on the requirement. No one tell that that is easy or this is tough and this is easy, that is tough. Both are like, JavaScript libraries only. Both require like, the same efforts to learn, learning point of view. But, when compared with React, Angular learning will be very easy. Simply, I can say, compared with React, Angular, we can learn it in an easy way. That's it. That is what I can tell. Learning point of view. And implementation wise, once you start like, the application development, I don't see like much differences between like, performance point of view or whatever. React and Angular, both are performance wise, both are good. Because like I work like, most of front-end technologies, like, I have an experience with React and Angular and Vue.js also. I didn't feel like, much with respect to performance, I'm telling you, both are fine. Understand? And when it comes to jobs also, fine, same. That is what I'm telling you. In industry, like, we don't have any barriers that like, go with only React and go with only Angular. But frankly speaking, learning point of view, Angular will be easy compared to React. That's it. Most of the projects, like, I can say that 50-50. You're a Java developer, I guess. If I ask you like which one is good, Java and .NET, definitely your answer will be what? What is your answer? Java only, right? Same question if I ask like, .NET developer, they might tell like, .NET. Understand? They'll tell definitely the .NET is good. But like, both are having like good competitors in the market right now. In the same way, when it comes to Angular and React also, both are good competitors. No one can say that like, React is having good market or Angular is having good market. So it's all depend on like, the requirements. That's it. Okay, fine. I'll come to that point again, Gopal. So this is what about that Angular. But to understand this, we need to have an idea. That means like, what are the prerequisites for that? So the prerequisites to understand about like, this course is going to be, I can say that the first thing is the HTML and the basics of CSS and basics of JavaScript is required. Clear? So you should have an idea about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And after that, you should know about the TypeScript. As the information point of view, I mean, I got like, some information from the management that they have like, already taken the sessions on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If not like, they might start, definitely. You can go and attend for those things. I'll start with directly the TypeScript. Because TypeScript, which was not covered on the regular UI training, where I'll start from the TypeScript. And TypeScript, once if it is done, we will see like how we can work with Angular directly. And here, definitely like, either you can go with this one or you can go with the Bootstrap. but I'm going to use like in Angular, mostly Bootstrap only. So that is where like just you people have to be ready with like, these understanding, HTML, CSS or Bootstrap and JavaScript understanding. That is very important for me. So, and then TypeScript and Angular that I'll take care as the part of the training program. And this training program is going to be the duration is 40 days. I'll complete like, whatever is required for a full stack web developer, irrespective of like, uh, you're a .NET developer or Java or Python, PHP, that's irrespective for me. Anyone can learn. The people who are having an experience in what? HTML, CSS, JavaScript, anybody can learn who wants to become. I mean, this course is not designed only for like Java people or only for .NET people, only for UI people. It's all like, for everyone it is. Because you see, we have two different types of job postings are there when it comes to web application: front-end developer, back-end developer, right? Front-end developer, back-end developer. Back-end developers are whom? Java, .NET, PHP, Python. Those guys are the back-end developers. Front-end means what? The people who are expertise in UI and UX. UI, user interface, and user experience. Like if they can build properly there. But nowadays, the terminology, it's not like, front-end developer and back-end developer. The terminology will change. The job postings also change it to full stack developers. Now, what is mean by full stack developers? Is that mean like, by using one developer, they're going to build that entire project means? No, the answer is no. Full stack developer means we have the primary task. I mean, primary is one only, but the developer should have at least like, the basic skill set on the secondary with respect to the project. That means you're a Java developer, you joined in the company as a Java developer. They will give you the work on Java only. But suppose if there is a requirement for Angular in the front end, by doing your work, you're supposed to give like, some kind of participation on the Angular as well, some kind of participation on the HTML as well. They are not experting like, from you end to end, where it start from HTML to the database. Nobody will expect something from you. Understand? So that is how it is going to. Okay, duration is going to be the, like, 45 days. And every day the session timings are going to be start by sharp 9 a.m. to 10:30. 10:30 a.m. is the timing. Any classes, any conflicts of the classes? Tell me. Any conflicts, guys? No, right? Cool then. Yeah, basic understanding is fine. Right. Thank you. So I'll take the session. But like, Monday and Tuesday, yeah, Bootstrap also will be covered. Don't worry. Monday and Tuesday. Okay. Monday and Tuesday, these 2 days, I'm taking till 10 o'clock only, because like I'm working hybrid model where I'm having office on Monday and Tuesday, 2 days. If anything is there, then definitely I'll close the session by 10 o'clock. And these are like, very initial days. So that is where we'll go like, for 1 hour. Okay, we'll go for 1 hour. And whenever if I'm having time, then I'll go till like, 1.5 hours completely. 9 to 10:30 is the session timings. Just keep that in mind. This is the slot that what I'm blocking. Right. Yeah, 40 days is more than enough. You will understand in a better way. This class for full stack student, or we have to pay the fee? That I don't know exactly, sir. You may check with the management. I don't know exactly for whom it is going to be. That is where I'm not giving like, the sessions by having the concern of Java people or .NET people. This course is for all the people who wants to learn about the Angular. It is not something, maybe you can get, this is the demo sessions, right? Maybe today and tomorrow. I'm not sure, like, but definitely I'll get like, some admin number and I can share with you. Okay. Cool. Anything else? Anything else? Any questions, please? Mean is something like, MongoDB, Express.js, Angular, and a Node. It's pure front end. By using that, we can build the projects. That is. Both are same, Mahendra. Both are same. We don't have the difference. So JavaScript basics. Yeah, JavaScript basics. It's okay. It's okay. Basics are fine. Bootstrap, like, at least you should understand, that's enough. Just a JavaScript, HTML, CSS. I'm not expecting like, expertise skill set. Just a basic part. That's okay. Yes, I'll connect with the database, real world databases, by making the HTTP calls like get, post, put, to delete, such kind of calls that I'll do, and I'll explain those part also. Nothing like, the very basic system is enough. Hardware requirements, very basic level, i3 processor, very basic system is enough. Having more code and less means that's depend on the example that we are practicing. No project will be covered here. No need to write any notes. I'll upload like everything on daily basis on the Google Classroom. You may get download. Satish, try to come like, a bit early, but I'll try to do that. Okay. Because like, if you can build a full dynamic web application by using server side technology, then burden on the server will get increased. As I told you, you can see if everything is built on the server, just observe that everything is built on the server. For every user request, okay, for every user request, the server will take like, some time to process it, right? Yes, sir. If I'm writing everything at server side, that is the problem. Because it is not like, only for one. I have like, list of people who are going to send the request to my application. If everything I'm processing at server side, then server is not capable of holding those requests. So that is the reason we supposed to give like, some burden on the browser as well. If I'm giving that burden on the browser, every browser is an individual, right? That is how it is. So do we have end-to-end application and do a deployment covered? Yes. Yes. Same timing. Timings are not going to be changed at all. Timing is 9 to 10:30 is your session timing. Just please make a note of it. That's it. 9 to 10:30 is your timing. No need. I will share you the notes, but I'm not sure like, the Google Classroom link, they haven't shared with me. Once if they share the link to me, then I will upload like, everything that what I have discussed. Okay. So whatever I discussed here, I'll definitely upload it in the Google Classroom. Don't worry. This is first class only. No, Vinod. Vinod, that won't be covered, like migration to the cloud and all. Can you teach offline? Yeah, I'm taking offline sessions as well, but not sure. This is completely an online session. It's completely an online. As far as I got the information from the management, it's a online session. Cool then. That's it, guys, for the day. We'll continue tomorrow, and please try to come to the session by 9 o'clock as soon as possible. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye-bye. So we haven't completed. Suman? Suman. Yes, tell me. Okay. We haven't completed CSS. Is it okay to continue these classes? Yes, it's okay, Suman. Not an issue. The basic understanding. Angular JS is not required. That is where I'm telling you. See, Angular JS is a different path and Angular is a different path. Anil, tomorrow I'll explain. Don't worry. Okay, so that is where like it is not required to like you should learn about CSS and all. It'll be easy, that's it. Okay, that's it for